everybody. Welcome along to Path to the Pinnacles as we build up to another big 9-event program out there at Ascot on Saturday afternoon. We've got the CROWN PERTH EURYTHMIC Stakes, Group 3 level, and the listed FURPHY RS CRAWFORD Stakes as the road to the Winterbottom Stakes gets underway in earnest. My name is Tim Walker. It's great to have your company. Also great to have the company of Digby Beecham. Hello, Diggers.
Good morning to you, Tim. Commiserations on owing TC a carton.
And TC, his name is Taylor Cortland. Hello, Taylor Cortland.
Digby and Tim, a little thirstier than I thought I would have been at this stage of the week, but hopefully we'll be able to sort that out.
Yeah, you've said that you've got that glass of water there ready to go. Just keep that throat lubricated because we need to get stuck into what is going to be a big day out there. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get underway with the CROWN PERTH EURYTHMIC Stakes. And before I get the thoughts of you two gentlemen, we are going to have a look at the market for this feature event. Down the board in market order, $3.80 is Comfort Me with Tab Touch. God Has Chosen is at $4.40. Resort Man, $5. Cup Night is at $8. Massimo, $12. Titan Blinders, $13. $18 Notorious One, $19 last of the line. The rest of the field, it is $31 and upwards. So let's have a look at the speed map for the Group 3 feature on Saturday afternoon. And there look to be two obvious candidates that will be up there rolling along, you'd think.
I think so, Tim. I think you're spot on there in regards to Excellent Dream and also Massimo. Now, we know that Massimo is an on-speed horse, Taylor, and we have seen him previously roll forward in this race, which he did run second in last year, and I think he gets to the breeze. And for mine, from there, he's not completely without some hope.
What would you rate the speed of this race if it was fast, above average, average, below average, slow?
Average. I honestly think it's an average speed because you've got two on-speeders in Excellent Dream and also Massimo, and other than that, there doesn't appear to be a great deal of horse flesh that is going to chop away at them. And that is why a horse like Comfort Me from a draw, which is barrier 6, but you look at some of those horses inside him. I talk of Wilchino in 4, True Attraction in 1, Resort Man in 2, potentially, Pure Devotion, barrier 3, no. So you can see Peter Nucky on a horse who did come across from a wide gate in a railway stakes and get a peach. Yes, was blown up by Western Empire, but did run second. I can see Comfort Me stalking the speed here.
I have my fingers crossed that they maybe try and get Excellent Dream and Massimo to do a little bit more work than hopefully you're anticipating. Diggers, the one I'll have on top later, probably gets back in the field, and that's probably a tip more on the fact that I think the horse is flying as opposed to how this race sets up. But I thought Wilchino probably sits in the 1-2. Resort Man holds up 3 back the fence. Titan Blinders probably lands on the back of the leader, and like you, I think Comfort Me in the 1-1 gets the peach of a run.
Yeah. Now, where does God Has Chosen? We'll get to the prices in a second. He's really firm in the market. He is a weight for age winner at 1,400 metres most recently in his last campaign. Where does he get in the run on your speed map?
I had him 3 wide, no cover.
Right. Okay.
About midfield. Like you, I thought it was probably an average speed, hoping above average, but it being an average speed, I don't think the field opens up much. So he sort of lands in the spot, and jumping from gate number 8, I think there's probably 5 horses inside him that probably want the same spot as him. So how that works out, if he's not 3 wide, no cover, I think he's a long way back.
Okay. So you're thinking Cup Night, that's the horse you've referenced to, is flying.
Well, I'm hoping he gets God Has Chosen's back.
Yeah, well, he could well do, and he's running. First up run was terrific, off a slow tempo, got to the line well over 6 furlongs. 1,400 looks like it is his sweet spot. If God Has Chosen is afforded the run that you are forecasting, the price, we'll get to him now. He's $4.40 with Tab Touch. He's really short, is he not, with a sticky gate to contend with?
I did a market last night to about 97%. I had him at least double what he is with Tab Touch at the moment. But having said that, I think I had him close to $15 in the Belmont Sprint, and he made me look like a deal. So he can do that. I thought the trials for God Has Chosen have been okay, unsuitable for a horse that's going to be better over 14 and 1,600. He was just blown up. He was out the back. Yeah. No real chance to do too much, but I think they've certainly been a pass mark. I didn't think the race set up well for him. I thought 440 was big unders.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm not so much taking a set against him because the genius of Lindsay Smith, I think we all saw it last week with Tuvalu winning a 2-rep. We're very wary of that. But the horse for mine, I had him $11 in a market similar to you. I'm at 97%. I may well have egg on the face. The horse which I've got unders in regards to a market, as opposed to what Tab Touch has got, is last of the line. He intrigues me a lot.
It's almost as if we work together, Diggers, and have conversations throughout the week, because I was $9 last of the line, and I think the last time I saw Timmy was $17.
He's $19 as we
down.
sit here. He's $19. The most recent trial, it was electric.
Well, we speak about God Has Chosen being in trials that were unsuitable for him. Last of the line's been in trials unsuitable for him, behind most recently Riverbow, who last Saturday came out and won over 1,000. Last of the line, we think best distance is around that mile. So he shouldn't be able to keep up with Riverbow at the 1,000 metres. And he's hit the line being beaten only a length and a half. I think that suggests the horse is absolutely flying. And he's probably one, probably needs a little bit more tempo on than what we're predicting. But I think the horse is going that well. And SJ Miller, I think he's a big contender.
Yeah, I agree. He's a Detonator Stakes winner. He just profiles like a proper horse. Not many horses carry 62 kilos and win a race. He did it in the winter in 78 plus grade. Well, that's a proper effort to do that. He's a very, very good horse. SJ Miller, renowned for getting his horses to fire first up. It wouldn't be a shock if he produced something out of the box there on the weekend.
All right, we'll come back and have a look at the tips on this race and also the betting strategy after we have had a look at the next of our features, which is the listed FURPHY RS CRAWFORD Stakes, a race that was last year won by Elite Street. Indian Pacific has won it as well. He goes around in this weekend's edition. Let's have a look at the market for this listed feature. And Miss Conteki heads it up at $3.90 with Tab Touch. Wilchino is at $4.20. Stageman $6.50. Nerodeo is at $11. $14 This Will Test You. $17 Indian Pacific. Amacinus and Pans down. $18 Riverbow. It's a Ray Day. $19. $21 and upwards the rest. Simon Miller with 4 in the race, and I think that's the starting point.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Conteki is your starting point, and I think a deserving favourite. When the nominations dropped, I think a lot of people thought she would go up as favourite. Sub $4 though, TC. Can you get her anywhere near that in yours?
Her trial was outstanding. Taking a look at the speed map just quickly before that, Diggers, we spoke about how you would rate the previous race, the Eurythmic, I dare say, for the Crawford. Next year's speed map has fast in capital letters.
Yeah, it certainly does. As you'd expect over 1,000 metres. And Mervyn will find the top in all likelihood. But there's no getting there and dropping anchor because he is going to have plenty of company. So therefore he is going to be at his top the whole way, which perhaps allows a horse like Miss Conteki, who's going to have some bodies in front of her, it might just space them out sufficiently for her to have a path to negotiate.
I had Indian Pacific finding the spot outside the lead, and
Likewise.
if that's the case, This Will Test You, Wilchino are drawn outside of Indian Pacific. What happens with those two gallopers, I think, is the intriguing part of this speed map.
I struggled to find horses who are going to be there in the cut and thrust, getting good runs. And I've got This Will Test You in the market. Now, where she gets, though, it's possible that Pans down box seats from that low draw. And Long Beach has shown previously that he can leave the machines quickly enough. He's got the addition of blinkers. It's not as if it's the first time for him, so it's not something that is foreign. So he should be able to use his low draw. If they settle third and fourth box seat 1-1, you've got horses like This Will Test You and Wilchino, who are high-speed mares, being posted, seriously posted, unless they go that hard that they can slot and get some cover. But I think both of those horses, one being This Will Test You, who has had 2 trials in readiness, and Wilchino, who is out of Dan's yard, no trial, they're going to have to be prepared to do some work.
Absolutely. Absolutely they are. We spoke about God Has Chosen the previous. I think Wilchino is probably the mistake in the market at the moment from my point of view. When we look at the Tab Touch market, I think she's too short because as you have said, Diggers, I can't see a scenario where she gets a favourable run. And can she win 3 wide no cover in this race? I would say no.
You would say no. In saying that, I still can't get my head around the fact that she went around last year as the $2.80 favourite in the Winterbottom Stakes. You know, that at weight for age. Now, was she going better then? Well, you'd argue yes, because we'd had a body of work from which to work with We don't have that. But her most devastating win, we've seen her just flatten out around Ascot. And at her last start in the winter on a genuine rain-affected track, that was at Belmont, and she won well. But Ascot's her track. Is she going to be able to hit the rail, though? She'd have to be, shot out of a cannon from the machines to cross this will test her, to cross a horse like Merv and to cross a horse like Indian Pacific, who have all drawn inside of her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it sets up well, as you've said straight off the top of the preview for this race for Miss Conteki. 3 back the fence, probably best case scenario, maybe 4 back the fence, but I don't think that will matter. The field will be strung out. She'll get enough room. She probably doesn't need too much room until the 200 because her turn of foot is just that electric. She's that good, very push button for Paddy Carberry from gate 1. Just needs a little bit of luck. I think it sets up beautifully, and the way I look at this race, I think she's probably the horse we don't know the ceiling of just yet. A lot of these horses we can sort of pin to their best performances. Can they elevate off that? I'm not too sure. I don't know if we've seen the best of Miss Conteki just yet.
I've got a question for you. Lockie Taylor said recently that Miss Conteki, not Amelia's Jewel, represented Simon Miller's best chance of winning a Group 1. Or certainly Miss Conteki could win a Group 1 before Amelia's Jewel. Along those lines. Do you share that sentiment?
I can understand the argument. I think going to a Winterbottom as opposed to a Northerly, I think we're all expecting 1,800 metres for Amelia's Jewel to be fine. She'll be able to run that okay. If that's the case, I think she's a better chance of winning that race than Miss Conteki is the Winterbottom, just due to the opposition.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Due to the strength of the opposition, if that makes sense.
I've got a question for both of you. It's been a long time since Stage Man won. He's back from Melbourne. Is he going to win a race here in Perth this summer?
He could well do. And it could well be Saturday. I found him hard to assess in this race off that trial and the fact that he's had 2 runs.
Beaten in this race last year by Elite Street first up. He's had 2 runs over East and a trial. He's arguably probably better set up this year than he was last year. He's
Blinkers off. What do we make of that?
He's a veteran. He knows what to do already.
He just doesn't. He doesn't win out of turn. That's the issue. Are you prepared to take single figures about a horse who struggles to win? And he does. He's a good horse, but he struggles to win.
He's one that I'll have in the quaddie. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll
be in the
just
quaddie.
A big FD job.
Yeah,
this
could
one.
be. Could be.
749 days since Stage Man last won a race.
Which would take you back to that Black Art Bart Stakes of 2020. All right, well, we need to get tips on both of these races before we get a strategy. So let's start with the Eurythmic Group 3 level. Who is going to win this race and secure themselves a start in the Railway Stakes later on this year?
For me, I'm with Comfort Me. I just think he gets a gun run. The 2 trials have been really good. He's a Group 1 place getter behind who we often remark as one of the better horses here in WA, that being Western Empire. He looks like he's come back in excellent order. He didn't come up, in the autumn, but his 2 trials have been terrific, and he maps a treat here. So I'm with Comfort Me.
I'm with Cup Night. Going to need some luck back. I think the first up run was outstanding behind Comes a Time. I think from the 600 to the 400, he reeled off a sectional of 11.2. So the horses don't go too much quicker than that, and he still hit the line at the end of 600. Trials suggest he's flying. Probably not going to get the speed that he needs. But I think you're going to get a lot better than... I think you might get $10 about Cup Night on the day, and I think that's overs.
All right. Well, I'm going to be with Comfort Me, but I think in an each-way quote, have something on Massimo because we know that he is more than capable. He is up to weight for age class, and he can certainly show that off in set weights penalties on the weekend. Now, the Crawford Stakes, your numbers here, gents.
I'm with Miss Conteki. I just think she's a horse who's got a turn of foot that not many others do. With her racing pattern, she needs luck. That applies also on the weekend. But if Pat Carberry can see daylight at the right time, I can see her bursting through.
I'm with Miss Conteki on top. I think touch unders just at the moment for mine. But as we've spoken about, a lot of chances. I think the market probably gravitates to a couple of others. This will test you, and Nero Dio for mine are the 2 over the odds. Nero Dio, like Miss Conteki's, going to be buried away on the fence, has a nice sharp turn of foot, good at the 1,000 metres. Pads go on, Ascot, 2 big question marks, but I think we'll get maybe $15 at race time to find out.
Yeah, I don't mind it. What price are you, Miss Conteki?
$4.50.
Yeah, okay. I'm $5. So she's unders for mine. I wouldn't be surprised if the stablemate Amazinas peels off one fresh. You know, like a hot speed, rider one way only from that gate, Stephen Parnham, in form, and her just flooding down the middle. It's a great race, this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Wilchino. I'm going to bank on the fact that she's classy enough and that $2.80 favourite in the Winterbottom tag. Hopefully she can show that here and run them along and hopefully be right there in the mix. Now, we get $100 a week. Last week,
Went swimmingly.
we got donuts.
All show. Tough watch that, wasn't it? That was a massive go nationwide on her. Massive go, and unfortunately it
didn't work.
didn't salute.
It's Thursday. Let's move on.
Yes, we get
please.
$100. Now you can be as creative as you want on these bets across the two races, of course. Or you can play all in one race if you like.
Oh, so it's it's not 100 per race.
No,
Tim.
it's 100 per week. Otherwise, we'll send the whole
Okay.
place broke.
Well,
$100 a race. Will
Okay,
be broke.
Diggers, you go first. I'm going to have to recalculate.
Comfort me. I'll have 100 straight out. Comfort me.
100 straight out. on
Just think
Comfort Me.
he's the map horse, and he brings good form lines to a race like this.
I'm going to have two $25 each way bets. I'm going to have 25 each way on Massimo in the Eurythmic Stakes, and I'm going to have another 25 each way on what you mentioned earlier on, Diggers, that being Amazinas. Just a couple of each way to nothing bets there. And TC, you've recalculated.
Wow,
and
please.
Have you got something?
Pull me up here. I went to school in Geraldton, so the maths might not be right, so just help me out. I'm going to have $10 on last of the line,
Nice.
overs. I'm going to have $60 on Miss Conteki. So 10 plus 60 is 70, so I've got $30 left. I'll have that on Nero Dio.
Nero Dio.
So just to make Christian, our graphics man, really work.
Are we having some head-to-head bets this week?
Oh, well, I haven't been paid last week.
No,
You
so-
double or
haven't paid
nothing.
your carton yet.
Double
Oh,
or
you're
nothing.
double or nothing.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Take him on.
No.
boring. Diggs, do you want to play?
Oh,
Do I want to have a carton with me?
What do you want to go?
no, actually, I do.
Oh, okay, go.
Are you taking Wilchino?
I like Wilchino.
I'll take Miss Conteki then.
All right.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing for your cartons.
Double or nothing.
2 cartons, Tim, you've got on the line. I like it. I like it. This is good fun.
It
This
is.
is good banter. So,
Gee whiz.
And
I
next
ain't-
week will be triple or nothing.
confirm that. So you're with Miss Conteki to finish in front of Wilchino.
Yes.
Is that the bet for 2 cartons or nothing?
Did I stutter?
No, you did not.
Oh.
I like it. It's good.
You've stuttered all week, to be fair.
No, I have not. No,
All right.
I have not. Past to the Pinnacles next week. We'll be back. We'll have the Belgravia Stakes. What a race that's going to be. Enjoy this weekend. Hopefully you can find a few winners out there. The Eurythmic Stakes, the CRAWFORD Stakes. It is going to be an absolutely wonderful day of racing, not just at Ascot, but right around the nation. And don't forget to stay tuned to the Races WA Twitter page and also Tab Radio right throughout the course of the remainder of the week as we build up to what is going to be a lot of fun out there at Ascot on Saturday.
Join Jim Walker and Digby Beecham on the Sports Daily each weekday morning from 5:30.